What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for this fishing progression guide. This video will be split into 4 different sections. The first one being fishing island progression, the second being fishing tools progression, the third fishing armor progression, and the final being fishing pets progression. I'll put timestamps down in the comments, so if you guys only want one specific part of the video, just click on that and it'll bring you to that specific part. Of course, if you guys end up enjoying this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out a ton. But I've held you guys long enough, it's time to get into the fishing progression guide. The very first fishing location in Hypixel Skyblock is the pond in the Skyblock hub. If you want a reference, this is the Skyblock hub right here, the center with the portal, and you go here, and there we have the fishing pond. The fishing pond, even today, even for endgame fishers, is still one of the favorite fishing areas for players, as you can get private lobbies and pretty much fish in peace. The second fishing location that is usually used is the pond, or I guess the mini river thing, in the park. This area is incredibly popular for fishermen because you're able to pay Vanessa to make it rain, which makes it rain, I think, and increases your fishing speed and also makes squid spawn in the water. So you can come and fish here, and every now and then you could also see squid will just randomly spawn. You can then kill these squid and get fishing XP from them, and you can also fish normally at the same time, thus boosting your total fishing XP. As you can see, it just spawned here and then this person just killed the squid. Our third fishing island is actually a pretty interesting one, and you can get access to this island not by going to the barn, because this island is technically in the barn, but by going into a different location and then TPing to the barn. For example, a good option is the gold mine, but like someone commented in my fishing XP video, you can actually go to the spider's den and then TP to the barn, because the spider's den often has natural rain. So as you see, I will go, and from here I'll find the barn. I think it's this way. TP to the barn, and if it were to rain in the spider's den, then it would also rain in the barn. As you can see, there's actually someone barn fishing right now. I won't ruin his barn fishing, but essentially what you do to barn fish is you come here, you fish, and all the sea creatures you fish up, you fish them down into this area. And once you think you've gotten enough of them, all you have to simply do is go and equip your squid pet and go and kill all the sea creatures for maximum fishing XP. This is currently the best fishing XP method, as you can make quite a bit more from killing these sea creatures. As you see, this guy's a hydra over there. The final fishing area you can have access to is pretty much any lava area in the crystal hollows. There you can actually lava fish, which is a very unique type of fishing. I still can't really comprehend, but pretty much you can come and fish lava sea creatures. As you can see, I just fished a blaze. Oh, here he is. See a lava blaze, and pretty much you can go and fish lava sea creatures, and on average you will be making a lot more fishing XP using this. But I believe that if you have a squid pet, barn fishing still surpasses lava fishing. Now that we've seen the different fishing islands you can have access to, let's talk about fishing tools and fishing rods. So the most common and probably the best, honestly, path for your fishing is simply to go and progress with your basic fishing rod. What I mean by this is I'll show you guys in the collections. Fishing collections, actually one of my only non-max collections is the lily pad collection. In the lily pad collection, you can actually go and craft the challenging rod, which is pretty much the upgrade to the fishing rod, and is very cheap, and this will be your first starter's fishing rod. After you acquire the challenging rod, you can then upgrade it to a rod of the champions, which is a challenging rod but better, and you can keep all your enchants, all of your reforges and everything when you upgrade it. After you move on from the Rod of Champions, you can then get the Rod of Legends. And this is once again an upgrade of the Rod of Champions, and this is pretty much the next step in the fishing progression. Afterwards, you can get the final rod in this progression, the Rod of the Sea, which is the one I have, and which is pretty much right now the best fishing rod in the game, except maybe for like a Chimera 5 shredder. Also be aware that there is a clear progression for these rods, and you can't just skip them with money, since you need to have a certain fishing level to acquire different levels of the rod. So make sure that you have the minimum fishing level to use the rod before upgrading your fishing rod. Other very good alternatives to this progression are the shredder, which is pretty much a combat version of the fishing rods and is still very powerful. There's also the ice rod. The ice rod, which is pretty decent for sea creatures when fishing in the ice area. But mainly you want to also get the winter rod, which is very, very good, especially in the early game, for fishing while in the Jerry Island. Another pretty decent rod, there are a lot of rods, is the Phantom rod. Once again, a combat rod, but it is still quite good and can be a pretty decent fishing tool. Overall though, I would recommend still just following the Rod of the Sea path and gradually fishing your way till the Rod of the Sea, like the one I have right now. But overall, that is pretty much it. It's pretty simple in terms of tools for fishing. All you really need is a rod. And if you choose to use like rod and then swap to a different weapon, you can just have a pretty strong melee weapon that you can use to kill the sea creatures with. In terms of reforges for your fishing tools, Salty will be your cheapest and best bet. But afterwards, if you want a bit more strength in your weapon, you can go ahead and get Treacherous like I have. And if you really want to invest in reforges for your fishing rod, then you can get Lucky, which gives you the same sea creature chance as Treacherous or Salty, but also gives you an additional 7 magic find, which could come in helpful when killing sea creatures. And now that we've seen the different fishing tools you can use, let's move on to the fishing armor sets. So the first fishing armor set, I actually still have my very first fishing armor set, is usually going to be salmon armor, because each piece gives you 1.5 sea creature chance. If you can see here, I have a water hydra head instead of full sea salmon, because the water hydra head actually gives you 1.8 sea creature chance. I've been told that this is now 1.5, but it still says 1.8 on the hydra head. So I guess you're pretty safe by just getting 3/4 salmon and a hydra head. Anyways, the full set ability of the salmon is completely useless, so as your starter sea creatures fishing setup for sea creature chance, you can just get this and it'll give you an easy 6.3 sea creature chance. After you get this salmon armor and want to move on to the next set, is actually quite a big jump, as you need fishing 20, where you can then go for the diver's armor. The diver's armor is going to be your next move, and once again, kind of like salmon armor, diver's armor does not give you more sea creature. Does not have a very relevant full set bonus. However, diver's armor does give you 2 secret chance instead of 1.5, so having a full set will give you 8 secret chance instead of 6.3 with the hydra and 3/4 salmon setup. So once you're able to afford this and you get fishing 20, you should definitely go and get diver's armor. The final and most powerful fishing armor set in the game is what you guys are seeing me wear right now. At fishing 24, you are able to use shark scale armor, the current best armor for fishing in the game, giving you 2.5 sea creature chance per piece. So in total you can get 10 sea creature chance. Additionally, for all these sets of armor, but mainly for shark scale, because that's the only one that's kind of worth it, you can get the submerged reforge on it, which gives you even more sea creature chance. As we can probably see, if I go and find maybe submerged shark scale pieces on mythic rarity, a submerged shark scale piece will give you 1 extra sea creature chance per piece with the reforge, so you can get an additional 4 sea creature chance. But do keep in mind that submerged is a very expensive reforge, and only get it if you really want to be dedicated to fishing. As you can see, I do not have the Submerged Reforge on my armor. Now that we've seen fishing tools and fishing armor, it's time to get into the last part of your fishing setup, your fishing pets. 3 fishing pets currently dominate the fishing system, and these are the flying fish, the dolphin, and the ammonite. The flying fish will usually be your first one, as it is the cheapest out of these pets, with the epic flying fish being, let me go on epic flying fish, being around 800k right now. And the flying fish only needs to be epic because that is where you'll take full advantage of his first perk, which is quick reel, increases your fishing speed. At level 100, you will get an additional 40% fishing speed from your flying fish. The legendary flying fish gives you higher stats for diver's armor, which is not that useful. However, if you are using diver's armor, I suppose you could go and get a legendary flying fish. However, upon starting fishing, I highly recommend getting an epic flying fish, as that is what I did. As you can see, I still currently own my epic flying fish, I believe, right here. I still have from a long time ago. The next pet is the dolphin, and it is actually a milestone pet similar to the rock, where based on how many sea creatures you fish, you can actually get the pet at a higher rarity the higher you go. The legendary dolphin is currently a very, very powerful fishing pet. However, it is also very expensive, being around 20 mil for just a level 61 right now. Being around 20 million coins, and maybe for a level 100 being somewhere around 40, in the 40s of millions of coins. The dolphin at level 100 will give you 10 base sea creature chance, up to 25% fishing speed, and another 10% sea creature chance, I believe. Sea creature chance by, yeah. So you can get 20 sea creature chance from the dolphin if you have the washed up souvenir on it, as that increases it by an additional 5. If you do not have the washed up souvenir, you will get 15 base sea creature chance from the dolphin, and if you have at least 5 players around you within a 10 block radius, you will have an additional 25% fishing speed. The final pet we will be talking about is the ammonite pet. The ammonite pet is currently arguably the strongest fishing pet in the game, as its buffs are really, really powerful. Let me just go and find a level 100 ammonite pet on the auction house, and I'll show you guys what I mean by its perks. The ammonite pet at level 100 gives you a base 7% sea creature chance, and an additional 1 sea creature chance for each Heart of the Mountain level. I am currently Heart of the Mountain 7, so as you can see, Heart of the Mountain 7, so I have an additional 7 on top of the current 7. So I get 14 sea creature chance base, and if I have the washed up souvenir, that is 19 sea creature chance. For now, it is still worse than the dolphin, as you get 1 less sea creature chance. However, if you then go onto the ammonite's other perks, the gift of the ammonite increases your fishing speed by 0.6% for each fishing level. That means if your fishing level, I believe is mining level, my bad, for each mining level, that means that if you are mining 50, you will get an additional 30% fishing speed. And if you are mining 60, you will get an additional 36% fishing speed. So this is almost on par with the flying fish, with it having 40% fishing speed. So the ammonite is kind of in between the dolphin and the flying fish, but being very, very close to being as good as both in their specialties. Overall, I think on average, the ammonite will be able to outperform the flying fish and the dolphin, and it is also oftentimes cheaper as long as you're not getting a level 100 one. So it is definitely the way to go if you want to get a good, consistent fishing pet and your mining levels aren't too bad. Well guys, that just about wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed or learned something new, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And also, just as a disclaimer, I'm not exactly an ultimate expert on fishing, and this is just pretty much what I've gathered from doing a lot of research on the fishing skill and the different equipment you can get for fishing. But at the end of the day, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.